Sacrifice refers to a complete, systematic set of religious ritual activities. Its purpose is to communicate with supernatural forces, gods, ghosts, ancestors, etc., express respect, establish a connection, or seek blessings. It is a general term encompassing a series of steps such as displaying offerings, reciting prayers, performing bows and kowtows, playing music and dancing. Offering specifically refers to the concrete act within the sacrificial ritual of presenting precious items, including animals, grains, and even humans, as offerings to the deities. This act symbolizes sacrifice, devotion, and the transfer of ownership from the human world to the divine realm. Sacrifice is the ceremony, while offering is the core action within the rite. When discussing a macro level, complete ritual activity, we use sacrifice. When specifically referring to the part of this activity where offerings are presented to the deities, we use offering. Purpose. Is it to pray for peace or to extend life? The method and steps of life extension. No one is perfect. Everyone has an insurmountable obstacle, or what can be called a destined time of death. Death does not signify annihilation. This is complementary and exists in a dialectical relationship with reincarnation. Regardless of how long a person has been dead, their spirit remains in the same location. This is related to the differing concepts of time and space between the realms of yin and yang, which will be discussed in detail later. Simply put, a specific environment nurtures specific people. The local customs and atmosphere shape the people. The kind of mountains and rivers will produce the kind of people. You were born here because the comprehensive conditions of this place and scene allowed your birth. Conversely, you must die. Similarly, if this place and scene allow your death, then you die. Otherwise, you cannot die. Therefore, after a person dies, their vital energy remains only at the place of death. If it departs, then death cannot occur. Cases of the dead coming back to life are continuously reported. The reason the dead need to remain for 7 days is based on this principle, which evolved into the belief of the spirit returning for a visit on the 7th day. So, searching for the spirit of a deceased person has its basis and reasons. Everyone has an insurmountable obstacle. If one passes this obstacle, they continue living. Life, however, is not smooth sailing for all. Some live in wealth and nobility, others live miserably. But regardless, for those who wish to live, this represents an opportunity. Thus, some people transfer the life after the obstacle of a deceased person to a living person who does not want to die, allowing them to continue living vibrantly. This leads to the method of life extension. First, 1. Matching. This is the foundation and a crucial key to success or failure. It's somewhat like blood type matching or organ matching. There must be no rejection, or it must be minimized as much as possible. After matching, years of medication are needed to alleviate the side effects of rejection. Life extension is similar, except different. Medicines are used, which we'll discuss later. Therefore, the life-extending master needs to find a spirit that matches the client. This directly involves the balance of yin and yang. The first step in the search is to locate the spiritual site and pay respects to the ghost. This means the master uses celestial vision, soul projection, or other methods to enter the spirit world. The specific methods cannot be discussed here. More on that later. First, locate the area, then find the ghost and communicate with it. If communication is smooth and it's confirmed to be the correct one, begin paying respects and giving thanks as a sign of respect. This respect is for your own benefit. Otherwise, you will face disaster upon entering the spirit world. After the master finds a matching spirit, they proceed to the second step. 1. Borrowing a corpse to return the soul. This corpse is not a literal corpse. The recipient must come to the ghost site or the specific area. This depends on the physiological compatibility of both parties and the master's magical power. Then, the life extension recipient, the living person, is put into a comatose, unconscious state. The master communicates again with the deceased spirit and guides it into the living person's body. Using magical power and the force of compatibility, the original spirit is expelled from the living person's body. This process usually takes between 10 to 15 seconds, depending on the master's skill and the compatibility of the life, death, and spirits. This is the second step. Next is the third step, 3, solidifying the soul and locking the spirit. At this moment, everyone present must not move a single step, nor make any strange sounds or have stray thoughts. Total concentration is required. Usually, only the master and the recipient are present at this stage, which also depends on the actual situation. Typically, I drive any extra people outside a radius of 130 steps. When absolute silence is achieved, the master informs the newly entered deceased spirit of the situation, observes the surroundings, understands the circumstances, addresses any objections, bids farewell, and lets go. Wait for the living person to return to normal and wake up. The final step is what I call 4. Earnest instruction. Because the revived living person will have a period of memory permanently lost, the master must bridge this break, making it logical. For example, they need to briefly reintroduce the people and things around them, so that when the person sees you, they understand the context and don't become distraught. Does this method of life extension have side effects? Yes. That is, the revived person might become forgetful of their origins, or even look down upon or scorn the soul within their body, or disrespect their future life. For instance, bad habits from before might return. Therefore, the master needs very carefully and seriously to explain the recipient's life chart and precautions to them. They must be made roughly aware of what will happen in the future. Life will inevitably have its ups and downs. They must face them correctly. They should not be arrogant, nor should they unduly humble themselves or blame others. The master must ensure they will seriously regard their future life path and respect the soul within them until death. They must be kind, knowing what to discard and what to embrace. What should be abandoned must be bravely let go. What should be gained and striven for must be pursued. 毫不犹豫地勇往直前，勇往直前。March forward courageously without hesitation. Relatives and friends affected by the change must cooperate and understand. This is life extension. The state Yu Menglong is in completely does not conform to the steps and form of life extension, nor is he a matching spirit for so-and-so. Just looking at their respective 8 characters, one can easily conclude they are incompatible. At the very least, Yu Menglong's strong peach blossom fate pattern, especially the 10,000 peach blossoms never wither aspect, how should that be handled? Do you want the boss to be daily in a drunken daze, making eyes at Trump, meekly discussing how to slap faces and launch missiles?